Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob, and we've got a pretty big news day today. Let's see how this trading bot can do in this type of environment. Let's see the intro. All right, we're back. As always, nothing that I post on this channel is financial advice. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Futures trading is risky business. You can lose all your money. Any type of trading is risky. We're here to share strategies, for me to showcase a strategy that I had purchased, which is the Gold Line trading bot built by Robert Anderson. His link to his channel is below. Great resource for his style of trading, which is pullbacks into specific EMAs on a 1 minute candlestick pattern. If you obviously want to know more about this trading bot that I purchased, you can watch a lot of the videos that I've already created, probably start towards the beginning. You can also go to his website, which I also have listed below. As I've documented on this channel, he is currently not selling the bot, but he is, at least based on his last video that he came out with, he is going to be, it looks like in the near future, starting to release some more subscriptions. But as I mentioned in my video, one criteria that he has mentioned would be to interview prospective people that want to purchase and trade using this trading bot that's out there. So, I got a lot of comments on that, which, you know, originally when I heard the idea, I thought it was crazy. I just because of a time basis. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that are interested in this bot, and it's freaking awesome. I mean, the bot, I have nothing but good things to say about it. As far as profit and loss, there's a lot of tweaks still that can be done there. This is in the infancy stage of this bot, so I'm not putting so much weight on the actual performance, even though we are up. We are up on our small account challenge. I think we're up about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6% on the account. But it's not necessarily about profit and loss. What Bob came out and said in his video was, "Hey, I've got people that have purchased this bot that have never even looked at my strategy in the past." And that's not, and they're just turning the spot on and trying to trade with it. Well, yeah, this is true. I mean, it's, and he's saying it's not fair to to the strategy, to the bot, and to the people that have purchased it. And there might be people that have some negative reviews or comments of the bot. If they don't know the strategy very well, there are going to be a lot of scenarios where you should be turning off and on the bot. Okay. And I think knowing his strategy is going to help you do that. So I think that that's what his point is, that is trying to come across. Now, granted, during my account challenge, or this account challenge that we're currently in, you've got to remember that I'm taking every trade. So today's a news day. We've got, well, it just came out. I mean, we had PMI, Chicago PMI, we had consumer confidence, which is a big one. And tomorrow we're leading into FOMC. So we've got some pretty big news events coming up here. And I haven't turned on and off this trade at all during the first 5 days of this challenge. So we're on day 6 right now. So I've just let this thing run. Now, granted, I've had maybe a day or two where I've had an issue with Ninja where I lost my connection for maybe an hour. But again, nothing where it would have really changed the statistics. We definitely would be up. And again, I'm only trading. I shouldn't say only, because I think it's still a lot. I am trading the NASDAQ, which I've got the minis. I'm sorry, the micros. So I've got the micro NASDAQ right here on the left-hand screen. I've got oil here front and center. And I've got the Russell right here on the right. So we're trading three instruments with two micro contracts. And after the 30-day challenge, this might change, but as I mentioned, I believe yesterday, I would feel comfortable definitely trading the NASDAQ with the spot. I think that the performance on the NASDAQ has been pretty good. I think in general, the NASDAQ has just been an easier instrument to trade. I've said that a few times. So for those of you that trade the ES and the NASDAQ, the ES has just been a little bit more difficult. Now, with that being said, I mean, I've traded the ES so long that I feel like I do have a decent understanding with it, but it's just the moves aren't there. The moves, it's very choppy, and it's very difficult to get some pretty sustained moves in there. But with that being said, I mean, I've traded the ES once. I think it was like on day one. I think I even did it on accident. I think I did it on the default settings, and it hit for 5 points for $250 with a one E-mini contract. So I might mess around after the 30-day challenge on the ES. I'll back test the results on that and see, if I add it. But let's just say the 30-day challenge was over today. Tomorrow, if I was going to start trading this, now we're trading this with a cash account that started at $2,000, but let's say that challenge is done. I don't necessarily know if I would go to cash or if I would go to a Top Step account, one of my Top Steps accounts that I would maybe trade off of that. That would be a possibility. I guess I would like to see how the next 3 weeks go. But as far as instruments are concerned, for sure the NASDAQ would be on there. And different than what Bob has stated on his channel, he's had a lot of success with the Russell, okay, the M2K. And from what I've seen so far with the bot, we really haven't had much success with it. So I don't think at this point. Now, granted, this is going to be the 6-day trading it, so you can have a bad week with any instrument. You could have a bad month. I mean, shit, you can have a bad year. But right now, I would probably leave the Russell off. I think I would look at keeping oil and the NASDAQ right now if I had to choose. So yeah, that's where I think I would definitely continue trading from this point. Now that might change in the next 30 days. On the private channel that we have, there's a lot of people that are trading gold with this strategy, and even Bob mentioned gold. It's not an instrument that he used to trade a lot, but now he's just like, well, the numbers don't lie. I mean, the bot's doing really well in gold, so that might be something to look into. I'm staying with the NASDAQ, the oil, and the Russell just to be consistent throughout the entire 30-day challenge. That's the reason why I'm not turning it off and on. And I'm showing you guys, pretty much all of the trades that it's taking. And then yesterday's video, which I will continue with that format because that seemed like something you guys liked. I will provide my commentary on, why I believe the bot took a trade or did not take a trade. Because as you noticed, the system does take a lot of setups, but doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting into a lot of trades. So yesterday, I can't remember, I think it was either 2 or 3 trades that we took, which was pretty low. I would say on the average, I've been taking, or I should say the system has been taking maybe 4 to 6 trades per day. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a lot or a little, but I felt like yesterday was too small. I mean, granted, it was a very small loss that we had yesterday of $30, which is not a big deal. To kind of give a recap, today for me personally has been a fantastic day of trading. So my oil setup this morning worked absolutely flawless. That was great. I'm currently stalking the 9 a.m. session to see if I get into a trade there, which it looks like we have a trade setup happening here. So let me take a look. Give me 1 second here. For those of you that are watching, following my oil trade, you guys can see that we had an oil setup just happen at 9:20 this morning on this inside bar. For you, those of you that are familiar with it, you know what I'm talking about. Um, Looks like we might get a short here, and we do get a short. So give me 1 second. Let me just set up this trade here. One second. Okay. All right, trade is in. So, and we're into some profit pretty quick on that second oil trade. So the oil trade this morning worked great. Let's see how the afternoon, or not the afternoon, but the second morning session happens here. Um, my natural gas trade hit. I know a lot of people are asking me for that strategy. I'm trying to work on getting that video out. My morning Nasdaq trade that I usually take in the first 5 minutes hit for 250 bucks. So today's been so far a fantastic profitable day. I'm super happy um, how those trades have kind of materialized. I gotta bump this up here a little bit. Okay, now we're right. So yeah, I've got a natural gas trade that I am trying to create that video so that people can follow that. Again, super systematic trading based on time. It's actually coming out of the London session. There's a pretty nice little window of opportunity there on gas. The Nasdaq one is a little bit more difficult for I posted a Nasdaq scalping strategy yesterday, which had fantastic responses to. There's even an indicator there that if you go and watch that video, you'll see that. Okay, so it looks like we got a setup here on the Russell on a 5 minute goal line. I'm sorry. Yeah, 5 minute goal line touch, which happened right here. So yellow 5 minute goal line and the red line are pretty much running together. So we got a piercing into there. Now let's see here if we get a trade setup. And this is about 30 minutes after news, so I'm okay taking this trade at this point. Leading into news, I generally don't like to trade, but I think this is enough time for kind of the market to hopefully rationalize. But when does the market really ever rationalize anything?
Order submitted.
All right, so we're in that trade. Looks like we're in at 1657.30. And we've got a take profit here of 1662.30. So we're looking at three about 30 ticks here of profit with a stop loss of 12 ticks, looks like. If I do that math correctly. One. No. I don't know. Maybe I think I moved now. Might have moved with that trailing stop. I was trying to figure out the the take profit and stop loss here. If I can open this up just a little bit more. So we're in a little bit of profit there. I keep forgetting to change the setting to currency. It's set to just ticks right now. And that's not the way that I know there's a lot of gurus out there that say don't look at currency, don't look at dollar amount on your trade. I get it. I've heard it. I personally like it. I don't know why. So let's see here. Come on, oil. And oil was really close there on taking full profit. Looks like we might get a rejection in oil here. We'll see. All right, Russell, we are up. Let me see if I don't know if this is too. No. Looks like we almost got there to about halfway to take profit. Looks like we are currently at break even on our stop, so the auto break even feature hit. I think the max that we got there was maybe 20 ticks of profit. Come on, oil. Come on, Russell. Don't knock me out here. Don't knock us out. Come on, let's have one. Let's have one fun trade here this morning. That's what we like to see. So, in context here, we obviously had, let's see, can't really see what time that is there just because my chart is, what just happened there? Okay. No, this is oil. Uh-oh. All right, so now oil went over here. And the Russell switched spots. I don't know how that happened, but so yeah, we had a nice push up here after news, and we had a pullback that came down to the 5 minute gold line and pretty much to the 5 minute red line. It does say, yeah, you've got a touch here to both of them. So that's a good one just because you're getting confluence there on, everyone that's looking at a 5 minute candlestick chart that's got these EMAs. There's a lot of people that play that EMA move. So you hopefully get some confluence and some support from a lot of other traders, which that candle bar right there. I'd like to see it hold that 1 minute gold line here. If we close under it, we're probably going to get knocked out of this trade. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, so I don't like that. Right there, we close underneath that 1 minute gold line. This was probably going to knock us out. So that one came to about a tick of knocking us out there. We were about halfway to take profit there and got a rejection. I did like this trade though. Some good spacing here and very nice target. Target way within where I think that this Russell could have come back to. Um, so pretty much a beautiful looking trade setup, in my opinion, on the Russell this morning. So, you know, granted, if we get knocked out here, we get knocked out for break even. We didn't lose any money, but in my opinion, I think that this
Order
does have
canceled.
a strong chance of moving upwards. So there's our trade confirmation saying 0. That was a break-even trade. And now this is really going to bother me because now I've got Russell in the front. And I'm sorry, but I don't like that. So I'm going to make this change here. Russell goes there. And why did this guy get so big? There we go. Oil, you go back into your spot here. Okay. All right, we're situated again. So yeah, like I was saying, I mean that was a nice looking setup right there on the Russell. You know, obviously the auto break even saved us from a stop loss being hit, which it would have been hit here. Granted, we were halfway to our take profit, so we were in profit. But I'm a believer that you just kind of let the trade run, and you let the system decide where the take profit and losses are. Now, he does have settings in here. I was asked this question as well. He does have settings in here. So if I jump over to the NASDAQ, you see you've got the overnight open right here, which is the smaller dashed lines, not to be mistaken with the 5-minute gold line, which is more of a hash line. Hopefully I said that right. But you've got this overnight open. So let's just say that the system was looking for a long. The system is coded in a way where that target is not going to be resting right around the overnight open. It's definitely not going to be sitting above it. If the target that the specific trade, if the criteria puts it above here, it automatically won't even take the trade. So, and that's based on his strategy and his strategy alone. You guys should all know that that he feels very strongly about sorry, let me get this guy going and this guy going. There you go. He feels very strongly about the resistance level or support that you get on that overnight open line. So he's got it coded where it's not going to take that trade. He's also got a few other things, where how many touches it's gone to that same 5-minute gold line or the 1-minute gold line. He's got it coded to the point where it does match up his strategy very well. That much is for sure. So what's my oil trade doing here? We're down a few points, a few ticks on oil. Man, we were close on taking full profit on that one. Well, that's okay. That's what happens sometimes. Had a real nice one this morning on there. And again, natural gas hit this morning. My NASDAQ for $250 hit this morning, which was great. Be nice if we can get some wins here on this trading bot. So what my plan is going to be is the same as yesterday. I'm going to let the system run. I will edit the video to just show the trades that it's taking, or maybe some setups where I feel like it would be instructional to show you guys maybe why the system didn't take a trade or two. And then I'll put my commentary on there. My voice is on there, just kind of as similar to what yesterday's looked like, and then a recap of the day. So I'm going to see you guys here very soon. Okay, and here's a setup on oil. Looks like we are trying to get a long. There we go. We got initiated on a 5-minute red line touch. We've got an entry at 82.83. Take profit of 83.63 and a stop loss of 82.72. So pretty aggressive take profit here just based on price action alone. I, obviously the system has got some pre-built take profits. In my opinion, this would be a very tough one, very aggressive one to try to hit, just because of all of the resistance and the price action right above it. But let's see what oil can do here. We are getting a push up. So what we'd like to see here is obviously we'd like to see a very strong candle start to close above all of these EMAs and start to get some traction. I'm okay with some minor pullbacks along the way, but for this trade to be successful, you're going to have to see a pretty aggressive candle here. So let's just take a look and see. Let's see what the market gives us here. Come on, oil. Come on, let's get a push up here. This would be a nice place for us to get a push. Now it might want to retest that 5-minute red line, which in that case, that would obviously come pretty close to knocking us out. Well, it would. But that could be a scenario here at play for sure. But time will only tell. Let's go. We need a strong upwards candle here. Let's see if our trailing stop loss, I don't think it's going to move here just because we haven't moved up in profit at all. I think if we see a good thrust here upwards, we might tighten up that stop loss. At least that's what the system would do. Not necessarily would I be doing that. Again, if I was just trading it, I think I would probably give it a little bit more space, maybe a couple ticks below the 5-minute red line, just because that would be a pretty natural spot for it to want to retest. But again, this is just looking at a chart. The system is meant to do what it's meant to do. So hopefully here we can get a push upwards. There we go. So our stop loss did tighten up here. Looks like stop loss went up to 82.72. I believe that's what it says there. Now we need a strong candle right here. Come on. Let's go. We got a little momentum. I know you got a long target ahead of you. But you can do it, oil. Don't be thinking about a retest here, oil. Because now I really don't... I don't want to say we suffocated this trade at this point, but we almost kind of did. I would have given this a little bit more space. But again, it's all about, risk. It's all about trying to manage risk and, trying to stay in the game as long as you can and hopefully get one of those moves where you're going to see a strong movement one way or the other. But this doesn't look good here. This might come down to a loss here in oil.
Order canceled.
Yep. So right there we got knocked out. Small loss in oil. All right, on to the next one. Okay, and then here we've got a trade setup that just came up on the Russell. which we're looking for a short here, and we had a pullback into the 5-minute red line. I see some very decent spacing here. I see some definite, opportunity to hopefully continue the trend downwards. We had an entry at 1666.30, and we've got a stop loss at 1668.4 and a take profit of 1660.3, which is roughly 66 ticks of profit. So again, a pretty aggressive trade, but the 5 red line, that's what it's meant to do. Those are going to typically over back testing, those are your biggest plays. The ones that run out usually the farthest. So right there we are we're taken into a break-even scenario. So again, it's really cutting that trade pretty tight there. So let's see here what happens. That's a nice candle right here. That's exactly what we wanted to see. So let's get a little bit more of that. See if we can retest that pivot down there. That would be fantastic. There we go. That's a nice candle. That's a really nice candle. Let's continue that downwards. Let's get some continuation. There we go. Come on. My feeling is that once this next candle here closes, if it doesn't close, if it closes higher than the previous candle's high, I don't believe that we'll have the auto trail initiate. But I think if it closes below the high of that first red candle, then we should probably believe it'll initiate some type of trailing stop. And at this point, I think the next movement would be in profit, which would be great. Be nice to take a little bit of a win. Let's see what the system can do here. Okay, well, stop definitely didn't move. Let's see. Come on. That's not the come on that I was looking for. I was looking for downwards pressure. Come on. I mean, the targets just, they look so far away. But, I mean, when you're at one side of the chart and you're looking at the other side of the chart and you're saying, well, that looks so far. There you go. So that's a nice little push. Now with that spacing, we are now in profit no matter what happens on this trade. So we're getting here to a point where we might see some resistance, obviously. Come on. So far, this is a nice little trade. Keep pushing. Come on, keep pushing. There you go. There you go. You almost like to see, well, so here is for me would be a natural area of resistance. So let's see if we can break through there. Come on. I mean, we're in a pretty good profits situation right there. I mean, that was almost to the halfway point. I would say maybe 40% to our take profit, maybe 45%. Now, definitely what we don't want to see is a strong reversal candle. I'm okay with a pullback here. Even a pullback to that 1 minute gold line, I would be very happy with, as long as we get a bounce from there. Again, if we close higher than that, don't have a good feeling about the trade. Well, this is turning out to be a pretty strong green candle here. Almost 6 minutes into this trade. Come on, Russell. You could do it. I know you can. And you'd really hate to see this reverse on us and knock us out of this trade here. I mean, we were in some pretty decent profit. Again, you guys saw where those pivots were at. In my opinion, that probably would have been a fantastic take profit spot for a decent amount of profit. So, again, and those are one of the things too that, it's difficult to, kind of code those changes when, there's going to be some certain things in the way. You're trying to optimize a strategy based on historical data. And, throughout historical data, they may say 60 ticks is what you're on average, it's your best winning, best way to win with risk and reward. Might be at 60 ticks, might be at 20 ticks, might be at 30 ticks. But again, the bot doesn't necessarily always know exactly what's in between those 60 ticks. And, that might have been a scenario there where you're an experienced trader, a price action pretty well. I mean, I said it before as the trade even took it, that to me looked like a clear sign of where resistance was going to be at. And you might want to just close the trade manually there at some point.
Order canceled.
Obviously I'm not doing it, in this challenge because, we'd like to see what the system can do. So that was a small profit there. That was great. It was almost an 8-minute trade. So let's see what else we can find. All right, and then here's a nice long setup on the NASDAQ. That so we're looking for a long. Obviously, we're in a long, and right away we're into some pretty good profit. We've got an entry price at 14,445. We got a take profit of 14,463.75. And we got a stop loss of 14,439.79. So we're looking at about 18 and a half points of profit. And we're looking, a pretty small stop loss on there, which looks like it just got moved up. So on this trade, it does turn out to be a very good trade. So it does take full profit here on this trade, but again, my Ninja had a connection error, which is the most bizarre thing because I never get that when I'm trading. But I've actually gotten it now a few times when the bot is running. And I don't think that there's any type of correlation. But so during this trade, we are, stop loss gets moved up, and we almost get knocked out of this trade, but we get a strong push upwards, and this is our most profitable trade of the day, and we really needed it because we've had a few small cuts, and like I said, this one gets really close of knocking us out, and then starts to kind of find its legs on the reversal. So yeah, I'm gonna have a call tomorrow with Ninja because I'm sure there's obviously a lot of other people that are trading the bot. So I'm gonna see maybe if there's something to do related to, maybe, I don't know. I've been thinking like maybe it could be like performance issue on that's taking too much resources. There it broke even, so it took the stop loss to break even. Again, not a ton of room for the trade to work, but in this particular scenario, it worked out just fine. And again, really needed this to help out our day. So here we get the strong push. And again, at this point, I'm giving you some commentary, but I am not in front of the computer at this point. So, this is a trade, and right there, we had a connection lost.
Connection.
You can hear it in the background saying connection lost. So right there, the graph stops charting, but in the end, it ends up going to the trade is obviously still alive. It knows what the take profit and the stop losses are. So just because the chart is off doesn't necessarily really mean anything. Doesn't give me a warm fuzzy feeling inside. Looking at it now, at how the trade materialized. But
Order canceled.
so it says order canceled there, but you can see the green line, that it took all the way up to take profit, and this was the trade that got us in the green for today. It was a nice one. I mean, 2 micros at 18.75 of profit. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, and we're back after those that commentary there on the several trades that were taken by the bot today. So in at the end of the day, we were positive for the day, $43.20. Here is our cash balance statement from Ninja Trader on our small account challenge, which again started at $2,000. We had a profit today of $43.20, and we've got $22.09. So we were able to bring this up past that plus 10%, which we've kind of been around that same price point or around that same balance now for a couple of days. So the system obviously took some losers, had a winner there. In general, I would say I'm pleased with the system. I mean, we're trading 2 micros, so you take the actual dollar amount out of the equation. You really should be more concerned with percentage of increase, because everyone can either scale up or scale down based on their balance. So it's a positive. I think it's extremely positive that the system was able to make some money today. Not the easiest day of trading. Bigger news day. And then tomorrow we've got FOMC, which is going to be a huge deal. and I'm going to be very, very curious on how the system is going to trade during that time. So again, normally would not be trading during that time period. I would be looking for maybe a trade or two in the really early morning, or again 30 45 minutes after news, and we kind of see where the rhythm of the market is going to be heading towards us. For those of you that track oil, um, hopefully you took both of those trades today. Both worked. The 8 to 9 a.m. session worked, and the 9 to 10 a.m. Session worked. Those are both beautiful trades today. So extremely profitable day in general. And very rarely do you get like all of your setups working, but today natural gas, my early morning NQ trade. I had the two oil trades that went extremely well. And then obviously this trading bot got another 40 something dollars worth of profit. So hopefully you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. Hopefully you like my commentary. I will be back tomorrow with day 7. And most importantly, FOMC. I'm extremely curious to see how this system is going to do during that time. As always, please don't forget to like, comment below, and especially subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more videos that I'm going to be putting out. I'm going to be doing just so you guys can keep up to date. I'm going to be putting out a new I'm going to be putting out a video on how I trade oil using Ninja Trader, which is how I have always traded oil previously for the last like week, just because I put this on YouTube. The strategy, I have been trading it on TradingView because it does look, I don't know, I think it's a little bit more pleasing to the eye. And I love the risk to reward tool that TradingView has. But I'm going to show you how I traded in Ninja Trader, the indicators that I use to make my life very easy with that, and the entry tools that I use, which I think is extremely important, specifically for those type of strategies. It makes life so easy, it's 10 times easier than TradingView. So I've got that video obviously coming out. I'm working on my natural gas video, and then I'm going to have some updates on the NASDAQ trade. So see you guys soon. Happy trading.